more real than any reality show. Forget the bright lights and the celebrity judges. For these girls to become stars, they'll have to start at the bottom. Should they even try?
We want to be famous and have lots of moolah.
Oh yeah, and they want to perform with NSYNC too. But how far are they willing to go to get what they want?
You'd do anything.
Yeah.
But will that be enough?
There's strikes against these girls already.
Little girls, dancing on the edge of a very adult world.
What I'm asking you about is the kind of the John Benet Ramsey factor.
The pressure to be perfect. Come on. Taking a big toll. Tired? Too bad. They've got to sing. Dance. And impress all the right people.
You're not ready to whip out a contract tonight?
Not in front of Dateline.
Along the way, leaps of faith.
It's almost showtime. Give me one.
And staggering setbacks.
I don't even know why they waited till the day before we had to fly out to call me and tell me something like this.
Can three little girls take on the big bad entertainment business and win? Tonight, Keith Morrison with A Star is Born, when Dateline with Stone Phillips continues. And now, A Star is Born. Here is Stone Phillips.
Good evening. There's no shortage of reality shows on TV these days, but it turns out there still aren't enough to go around for all the young hopefuls who want to become pop stars. To find fame, most of them face a long road and even longer odds. Tonight, three young girls ready to sing and dance their hearts out to become famous. If their career depended on your vote, would it be thumbs up or down? Here's Keith Morrison.
Kelly Clarkson. Hey. Reality TV set these American idols on the fast track to stardom. But for most wannabes, the path to fame is filled with far more twists and turns than any television show. It can be the journey of a lifetime, especially for those who start when they're very young. Our story begins here, in Orlando, Florida.
And she's going to take it back.
There was a mother, Marie, and a trio of young ones, 11-year-old twins, Brittany and Bridget, and 10-year-old Brianna.
Wow, she cracked an egg.
They didn't have much, these women, beyond Marie's abiding ambition for them.
And I saw in them that they were able to perform, and they were able to pick up moves, and they were able to dance, and they were able to sing. So I gave it my all for them.
Just call my name.
No matter that the three little girls craved success every bit as much as their mother, they were poor and, frankly, nobodies. So their fantasy when we met them was all the more outlandish.
We want to be famous and have lots of moolah.
I see us like being like hopefully really famous and having a lot of fans and having a lot of fun doing a lot of concerts and stuff.
Somehow Marie scraped together enough money to buy some music lessons.
Because I believe that you can do whatever you want to do if you have that support behind you.
And in order to give them that support, she had to work 2 jobs, as a nurse's aide and as a child care provider. Sometimes Marie would sleep in the car while the girls took their lessons.
You're a single parent. You're making costumes for these 3 little girls.
Correct.
But you had to put food on the table and pay the rent at the same time.
Yes. Work 2 jobs.
How do you do it?
You have a lot of coffee.
And bit by bit, it began to pay off, or at least it felt like it, even if their first appearances were in shopping malls. They called themselves Triple Image because they looked so much like triplets. They gyrated through one event after another, noticed by only a few and paid by none. And what they lacked in musicality or polish, they and their mom made up for in determination.
I'm not going to give up. I'm definitely not going to give up. And hopefully those three little ones are as strong-minded as I am, and they don't give up.
How hard are you prepared to try? How many things would you give up to make this dream happen?
I will sell my whole house. I'll give up my sister. If to make... No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
You'd do anything?
Yeah.
Can't you see? Can't you see?
Then one day, Marie saw an ad in the paper for a talent show, an audition really, called The Stars Showcase. Talent agents would be there.
Let me get another picture.
And not a single one of them knew, not Marie nor the girls, just how important this could be. But here they were, their hair freshly tinted, costumes ready, all nerves. Marie and the girls found themselves in the cavernous ballroom of Orlando's Sheraton Hotel.
And what do you hope happens from being here?
I don't know.
I do a lot of stuff.
That we have a good show.
They'll need it. They'll be competing with 52 other acts just to get the talent agent's attention.
If I dug right down to the bottom of my soul and I tried, and everybody's going.
And then, what did some of the performers discover? That this very showcase would be attended by the one and only Johnny Wright.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause and please welcome Mr. Johnny Wright.
Johnny Wright, in case you haven't been paying attention to commercial pop music, is the biggest idol maker of them all just now. Johnny took the Backstreet Boys to fame, and then NSYNC, and Britney Spears. And he was a celebrity judge on NBC's talent show, Fame.
I really think you and I know that you are uncomfortable with that song.
You just look, and if someone's personality and aura and their talent just hits you, that's the person.
Later, Johnny tells us something which neither Marie nor any of the participants would want to hear. He rarely picks a new act from a show like this, and he never invests in long shots.
This is a business. It's 75% business and 25% music.
75% business?
25% music.
Wow. I thought it was a creative business.
Creative financing, creative marketing, and creative funding. That's what it is.
You have to be pretty sure when you pick them then.
That's right. And then if you're going to be a part of what I do, you have to be just as hungry for it as I am for you.
Hey, girl, I think I love you.
And one of those young kids who certainly seems hungry for that opportunity is named Colby O'Donis. Like the girls, Colby is 11.
We got some great postings.
But unlike them, he's already appeared as the star in a children's video show and even sang the title song on the Stuart Little movie soundtrack. Colby's dad, who till now has been managing the young career, is working the only crowd that matters, Johnny Wright.
And he just got nominated for a Grammy for the Stuart Little soundtrack. Paul wanted me to just pass it on to you. Do you know he's on the TV series Diego? Did you get that little pictures? Because I sent it to Doug.
Colby seems far more experienced than Marie's little girls, and his dad already knows the business.
And we have no problem working out uptakes on percentages because I know you're the man.
But Colby and his dad are barely out of sight when Wright is suddenly a study in rapt attention.
Oh, this is Little Cola. I want to check this out,
Her name, her performing name anyway, is Little Cola.
She's right on the edge.
And she's been on the edge for the past 2 years.
What's up, Orlando?
She's already performed for audiences of thousands at NBA pregame shows. And Johnny is impressed. He asks to see Little Cola.
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
The style of rap that you're doing now, like the real aggressive, fast style of rap, is that what you want to do?
Yeah,
It looks very promising for little Cola, especially when Johnny asked,
So you guys are free and not signed with anybody?
I don't have anything signed with anyone.
All right. If she got some songs on there that got a little slower rap, might want to do something with that. She is cute.
9? Yeah, she's sassy.
But before he makes any final decisions, it's their turn. This is Triple Image's biggest opportunity so far. Though their silver vinyl jumpsuits sewn by their mom have them looking more like space-age astronauts than pint-sized performers. Marie, watching, is both thrilled and terrified.
You get jitterbugs. You're hoping that they do as well as they want to do.
It's obvious they're not as polished as Colby Adonis or Little Cola. But after all, their biggest performance so far was in a shopping mall.
What's up, everyone? How's everybody doing out there? I hope you guys are having a good time, because we sure are.
And so it seems is Johnny Wright. He seems to see something in these girls, despite the rough edges. He's intrigued enough to stay for more.
That impressed me. These girls got a stage presence and a sound coming out them at their ages that in some development in a couple of years, they'll be untouchable if they want to do this. Man, them girls got me impressed.
Impressed? Maybe, but Johnny Wright is soon leaving for the day. And as he does, Colby's dad homes in.
If it's a commission situation, I'm willing to work with you.
But Colby Adonis may have to wait for another day for a deal with Johnny Wright. And so will Little Cola. And apparently, Triple Image. Marie has done what she could. The girls have had their shot. But the icon of pop has left the building.
Woo!
Would he pick anyone? Or was the Cinderella moment over for good?
It would all depend on him, and he wasn't so sure.
When people see a group this size, they're not going to think they can do anything vocally.
Can they persuade him they're worth the risk? When A Star Is Born continues. We now continue with A Star Is Born on Dateline with Stone Phillips.
A hotel ballroom in Orlando, Florida can feel like the whole world in one room. Hope, exhilaration, agony, all here. And there he is, the center of the universe for these performers, and he is leaving. Fair is fair. He'd tell us he had no expectation of picking anybody here. And then the most amazing thing happens. So subtle, so quick, no one else sees it happen. Johnny Wright, on his way out of the building, hands his calling card to Marie and her 3 little girls.
Everybody was like, oh my gosh, he gave us the card, he wants us to call him.
Marie called and made the deal they all dreamed of. Johnny Wright will be the girls' manager.
They knew he was NSYNC's manager. They knew he was Britney's manager. They want to be performing with NSYNC. That was their goal.
Perform with NSYNC? Of course, Marie was getting ahead of herself. First, there was the tricky problem of turning these 3 10 and 11-year-old girls, these nobodies, into stars.
Good and
So the deal Johnny offers is this. He'll bring the girls to his studio, provide musical training, recording time, and pay all the costs. For the girls, it means endless hours of rehearsal.
First or foremost.
Homeschooling, and at least for now, not getting paid. But if it all works out, a possible record deal with a paycheck. Johnny will begin by making a sample recording of the girls for record companies to listen to. But one thing at a time. There's the small matter of teaching them how to sing.
Just open your throat, drop the jaw. Here, do it again.
I was scared for them, and I try to make them understand, you know, what was in store for them. I'm like, you know, it's going to be difficult to record with a real producer now.
Gotta get in it, girls.
But, you know, knowing that I was there with them, I think they were okay with it.
Come on.
It's critical that at the very least the girls sound professional. Johnny, after all, is just the girls' manager. What they're still missing is a recording contract. So he's put up the money to make a demo tape that might just get them a recording contract.
You're just a little late on it. 1, 2, 3.
And has hired record producer Gary Carolla to work with the girls.
I want you to practice this because this is going to be a little hard to do.
But already, on their very first day, they're in over their heads.
Do you want me to sing the whole thing?
Just this part, okay? Because we're having trouble. Here we go.
If they can't do even this, they may be done before they start.
We got feminine touch.
And frankly, they're so young, they're not entirely aware of what they're singing.
Try it again. Watch the feminine.
We got feminine touch in all the right places.
Almost. We got feminine touch.
We got feminine touch.
Feminine.
Feminine. We got feminine touch in all the right.
We got feminine touch.
We got feminine touch in all.
Feminine touch.
We got feminine touch.
Feminine touch. 3, 4. It's like da-da-da.
Feminine. We got feminine touch in all the right places. Stars in the eyes.
It isn't just the difficult rhythm patterns, the endless repetition.
You're missing the.
It's the end of the era.
Brianna, the youngest, is having trouble pronouncing the words clearly enough to be understood.
It's the end of an year of the start of a new day, okay? Watch your words. You gotta get the words in there.
You can call it to the girls, but the girls are same.
But the girls are same. You know, get some attitude in there. So it's something that's in there that.
And how do you teach attitude to girls this age?
And we all like to play.
Record producer Gary Carolla tries to explain to Brittany.
It's like a cockiness. Get cocky, okay?
Girls just wanna have fun. It's a girl band with the right swing. G for the girl and T for the thing.
Atta girl.
There's strikes against these girls already starting because people are going to look at them because of their age. There's not true talent here. This is just a marketing exercise, yada, yada. So making a great record and vocally being strong is what's important. And that is going to take a lot of work.
Try forgetting everything that you heard before. No matter how many times you hear this, you want to hear some more. This is how we sort of.
On the second day of recording, Johnny Wright comes by to check on this discovery of his latest investment.
2 seconds, coming more.
Johnny tells his producer he has some concerns about the vocals.
When the people see a group this size, they're not going to think they can do anything vocally, and I want people to be like, damn.
Try forgetting everything that you heard before. No.
High expectations? Remember, their previous critics were shoppers at a local mall.
You're having a problem with this is our year, so have no fear.
And today, Brianna is finding that performing up to Johnny's standards is not easy.
Let's bring all 3 girls in here for a second.
Brianna risks losing the verse to one of her sisters if she can't get it right.
She just feels sad because she's not doing it the whole thing. You want to keep trying till you get it, or do you want to give it to somebody else to do? It's just whoever sounds best doing it, you know?
That's the way it works.
That's the way it works.
You're just not into this, are you?
Her mom takes her out for a little talk, hoping it might help.
I like the verse. It's just a problem I have.
She tries to explain to her daughter that pop stars can forget classroom English. It's rhythm that counts.
But he doesn't want you to go our. He wants you to say R.
Well,
right?
that's how I was taught.
No. Doesn't he want you to say, this is our year?
Yeah, but I was taught with.
Between sniffles, Marie comes up with a possible solution.
I'll take a big marker and put R and put it on the window thing. So when that part comes, you just look at the paper. You understand what I'm saying?
The pep talk works, and Brianna soon gets the verse right, though it will take 2 more weeks of hard work before the demo's in the can. And even when it is, there is no guarantee whatsoever that their efforts will get them a recording contract. Johnny's a big-time manager, but he's not a record company. And he also can't guarantee the girls' financial success.
You have to embed that in their heads, you know. I know you want your kids to be successful, and you look at this as a way to make money for the family, but this is the reality.
And the reality for some little girls like that, who may or may not make it big, you don't know yet.
Don't know.
It's a lot of pressure for such little girls.
When is it too young?
When you look at the child and they're doing it because they're being pushed to do it and not because they want to do it.
You worry about that with these girls?
When a Star is Born continues. And now back to A Star is Born.
Look at the timing. I'm not even done with their shirt.
It's showtime, and the sisters known as Triple Image are getting ready for their next big hurdle.
Once I'm done with these, I need for you to put this on, rip them off, put them on, rip them off, put them on, rip them off.
It's been 5 months since the girls were discovered by talent manager Johnny Wright in a showcase here in Orlando, Florida. Yet that was a mere audition for what's coming up next. In just a few hours, these preteens with their limited experience will put on their most important performance.
I have to be at sound check at 3 o'clock, so I have
one that will determine their future, or the lack of one. Marie has now quit her 2 jobs and has dedicated herself to helping the girls' career. Her family helps out financially, while her 3 daughters are busy practicing their vocals and dance moves and cutting a demo record. Yet they still do not have a recording contract. So Johnny Wright has invited scouts from record labels to watch the girls perform. This is crucial. Finally, a chance at a record deal and a future paycheck. But he doesn't let on to the girls just how important this is.
Only one step at a time. Ladies, we're in rehearsal every day today because you got a showcase. You got a show coming up, and there's some people from the record company that we really want you to see. Not saying to them, oh God, if you don't get a deal after this, it's going to be tough, and we're going to never.
I'm going to give you girls a color glaze today.
He probably needn't have worried. The girls have other priorities in mind. They know a serious pop career calls for diva-worthy hair.
They're blonde. I mean, are they natural blonde?
No, actually they're light brown. We frosted and stuff like that, and they love it. They love it.
And of course, what I'm asking you about is a kind of John Benet Ramsey factor. Little girls who are trying to look like they're dance hall girls or something, and they're 10 years old.
Right.
But there must be pressure for you to do that sort of thing.
No, there's not. Money or no money, I'm not going to let them do something I don't feel comfortable with.
Let it be the best show we ever did.
If there is that pressure, it's not evident today at this beauty parlor. The girls are comfortable here, bizarrely adult, thoroughly childish.
What? What?
What? What?
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you so much.
It's now half an hour before the girls are due at rehearsal, and they're nowhere near the club.
At least your hair is beautiful, girls.
But now they're way behind schedule. Inside their coiffed heads, even the girls feel pressured now.
How hard do you push them?
I don't. I guide them. I don't push them.
Sound check is in 2 minutes. We need to run.
No, go around the shoot.
And as if on cue, their manager, Johnny Wright, appears to remind them they're not divas yet.
You're never late for sound check.
The sound check seems to go smoothly. A good sign. Because tonight, the audience will not just include fans and family, but career-making record executives.
Let's do the rip away. Here we go.
A bit of choreography that's been giving them trouble is an attention-grabbing gimmick. Their mom has sewn outfits that rip off, revealing new costumes underneath an on-stage costume change.
Rip, rip, look at each other, pants, hats.
This time it works.
We'll get it right.
All this pressure, and they're 10 and 11 years old.
When is it too young?
When you look at the child and they're doing it because they're being pushed to do it and not because they want to do it.
You worry about that with these girls?
No.
Do you guys have Vaseline for your teeth?
Ew!
Yeah, well, that keeps your lips from sticking to your teeth, but that's what should work. That's pretty wet.
Showtime is less than an hour away, and now they try to make themselves look like pop stars. When a teen magazine photographer stops by to take their pictures, the girls, ordinary little girls just weeks ago, pose like pros.
That's dynamite. Okay.
Marie keeps an eye on the size of their egos.
Cut it out. I see them doing something they're not supposed to be doing, or it's not proper to do.
If you have come, I want it right now.
And I tell them, like any normal mom would do, I think.
We're en route, and we'll be at the elevator in about 30 seconds.
Triple image.
5 months of hard work has led up to this, a shot at a recording contract, possibly worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and a chance at real stardom.
It's almost showtime. Give me one.
And so it all comes down to this moment. Their hard work seems to be paying off. Like the professionals they aspire to be, the girls don't miss a step until that tricky onstage costume change. For Bridget in the middle, that dramatic rip-away isn't quite so dramatic. Despite the glitch with the costumes, the girls gamely carry on and finish the set. Backstage, their friends and family are full of praise. But of course, what really matters is what the record scouts think.
They seem to have an edge about them and sort of a, a confidence for way beyond way beyond how old they are.
I thought that the girls really just went for it. They really got it, and apparently they had fun on stage. I think that's the most important thing, to enjoy yourself.
Whether or not that on-stage performance merited a contract, the girls would have to wait.
So do you think you'll be taking out a pen and a contract tonight?
Not in front of Dateline.
And then, 48 excruciating hours after taking their final bows, the telephone rang. It was DreamWorks, a major record label, calling to offer a record contract.
We were so excited. We were jumping up and down. Yay!
Brianna, can I sign legal documents with a pencil?
They scored. The deal, Marie tells us, is one record to be recorded in the next 2 months, with an option for 5 more. And even more important, an advance of $100,000.
Financially, they can secure their own future. They will never have to depend on anybody but themselves.
That is assuming, of course, that they continue to grow up as people and artists at lightning speed and work and impress everybody they meet.
But now they have to learn a whole CD's worth of songs. And they've got to be professionals. They're learning what life is all about. They're learning what television is about, what the music business is about.
But it doesn't faze them. It hasn't changed them.
You can play later. You don't have that much time right now.
They're still kids. Trust me, they're still kids.
I'm dead, Jared. I'm dead.
Do you ever miss doing what other kids do? Having a regular childhood?
We do what other kids do. We do have a regular childhood. We just fit something else in there, which is to practice and then do shows.
It won't be that easy, says Johnny Wright.
Now it's, ladies, congratulations. You guys are going to get signed to a record label. Now we're going to start making a record. That's the next level. The next steps, I don't need to bog their minds down with that until we get the record done, because that's going to be a hard part. Probably the hardest thing that they do in this whole situation.
He's actually making the record?
Mm-hmm.
Making it good.
Making it good.
And sure enough, they work hard for months. This is almost a year after Johnny discovered them. But hard work is not a guarantee of success. These children are about to learn some very adult lessons about the recording business.
I don't even know why they waited till the day before we have to fly out to call me and tell me something like this.
What news did she get, and what does it mean for the girls?
I am speechless.
When A Star is Born continues. We return with A Star is Born on Dateline with Stone Phillips.
The roller coaster ride of Triple Image's career is rapidly gathering speed. As newly signed recording artists on a tight schedule, even their playtime is action-packed. Two major forces have combined to give them a chance at pop stardom. DreamWorks Records and top talent manager Johnny Wright. Now all they have to do is make a hit record.
Just because you put a record out doesn't guarantee that anyone's ever going to listen to it or buy it, or that you'll ever make a dime from it.
But Wright's investment is his own bet that these young girls will be just the ticket to crack the 8 to 14-year-old market, which spent more than $35 million last year alone. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. First, Wright decides his charges need some seasoning, along with a little market testing among kids their own age. Besides, says Wright, the more kids know the name Triple Image, the more likely their CD will sell when it's released. So off they go to tour Florida middle schools for more exposure. But still, no pay.
I want you to give a warm welcome, hoot and holler, and scream your hearts out for Triple Image! Put your hands together! It's a girl thing, nice swing,
Remember, this is a jury of their peers. This is the potential audience for a Triple Image CD. But right away you could see something's wrong. The girls are not connecting with their audience. The show must go on anyway. Then, as they're about to launch into their final song, the concert is unexpectedly stopped. This is a school day. The kids, at least the ones not performing, need to get back to class.
Thank you, girls.
Hardly the breakthrough performance they needed to attract fans.
We've been there, we've done shows like this before where they've been a disaster. We'll fix it. Tomorrow will be a better day, a better show.
But today isn't over yet.
Hello.
Any time for meet and greet with the audience? Or...
Now, in spite of their poor performance, they have to work the crowd that came to see them. It's a curious emotion. Lots of attention for a performance which has embarrassed them.
We just got done because it's such
Here, in footage provided by Johnny Wright, we see a performance taped 2 weeks after their first tour, Disaster. A remarkable transformation occurs. Their young audiences seem to like them. Their show is becoming a hit. And so, DreamWorks, the record producer, makes a big decision. It decides the girls are ready to show the world. Triple Image flies to Los Angeles. The publicity machine takes over. And 3 little girls who've only been out of Florida once in their whole lives are now in Hollywood. There's a photo shoot and star treatment. DreamWorks footing the bill, of course.
good.
The stills, the blurbs, the video press kit, the company is hoping will help launch a Triple Image phenomenon.
Hey, what's up? I'm Bridget. I'm Brianna. And I'm Brittany. And together we are Triple Image!
And to complete the package, some tips on talking to the press and the public.
We did media training, and it's like for interviews, so you can know how to talk, I don't know how to explain it.
Perhaps a few more lessons are in order. The publicity drive goes into high gear when they're given a chance to perform in a nationally televised concert called Challenge America in New York City. For these girls, a far cry from the local middle schools they've been playing. It's now early December, And you can feel it, that a year of intensive training has paid off. The girls' charge toward success seems unstoppable. It's almost eerie. Everything is perfect. And then, the very day before they're to leave on a Western school tour to gain more exposure, a sudden turn of events.
We're not going to LA. The girls don't even know. They're outside playing. I just got a call from Michael Goldstone. They are pulling out of the project. I am speechless.
Deal is off. But why?
And now the conclusion to A Star is Born.
They waited till the day before we had to fly out to call me and tell me something like this.
One telephone call and everything has collapsed. DreamWorks, the record deal, all the anticipation, gone.
You know, I would understand if it didn't sell good or anything, but they didn't give us a chance, so.
And now all those hard realities come thumping right back. They've invested a year of their life, worked hard without any real income, and now they have nothing to show for it.
I don't want you guys to feel like you did anything wrong or that you weren't doing the right thing, because you were.
Johnny explains the business decision to drop the girls came from the top brass at DreamWorks Records.
You know, unfortunately, there's just people in this music business that don't get it.
Whether it was a business decision to cut back in tough times or a desire to move away from pop and toward rock, DreamWorks isn't telling us why they pulled out of the record deal. And then, just as they're absorbing all that, Johnny Wright tells them why they're here.
What's going to happen now is I'm going to sign you guys to my label called Wire.
And suddenly it dawns on them. Johnny Wright is going to help them produce a record after all, on his newly developed record label. The dream is back.
Also, I'm going to commit right now to spending the money to put 2 videos together. I might decide to go ahead and do 5. Okay.
Here they are, back in the fairy tale again.
And you'll sell millions of records, and then DreamWorks will be sitting there going, now I get it. Too late now, okay?
It's a girl day with the right swing. So what do I day?
True to his word, within 2 weeks, Johnny has arranged their first video shoot.
Don't get me wrong when I try to front, but Cindy was like, girls just wanna have fun. It's a girl day with the right swing.
Far from ending their dreams of stardom, the DreamWorks fiasco seems to have propelled these girls even closer to their goal.
Don't say we're obviously demanding, only 'cause we're the last one standing.
Proceed in an orderly fashion to the Big Blue Truck and meet Triple Image, the opening act for tonight's concert.
And then, all the hard work and sacrifices pay off. Johnny Wright, idol maker, has come through. Thanks to a little connection Johnny Wright has as manager of some of the hottest groups in the business, Brittany, Brianna, and Bridget find themselves preparing to open a concert for idols they once merely dreamed they might meet. Pop superstars in sync.
They made it this far. Whew. It's just incredible that they've gotten as far as they have. But you know what? I believe that I believe this would have happened. And they're going to keep going and going.
18 months ago, they were utterly anonymous. Marie worked 2 jobs. They couldn't afford their own apartment. And now, they're about to perform in Orlando's biggest indoor arena before their largest crowd ever, in front of more than 13,000 people.
Give it up for Triple Image!
Give it up for Brittany, Bridget, and Brianna. Triple Image!
Hey now, what's the matter with you girls? Just don't wanna have
These girls believed, although somewhat naively, that despite their youth and inexperience, they could make it in this highly competitive business. And they and their mom showed everyone they could. How long would you like to do this?
We'll all be like 80 years old and we'll still be on stage. I wish.
It was about here that we said to ourselves, maybe they will.
This is when